house or if he's got the original copies.
Yeah.
That would be so
For a
funny.
friend.
We think we've
Not for
changed the
mocking
world
purpose.
with Little People, Big World. You know, Little People, Big World,
To
we think,
learn.
has made people
Yeah,
think
for
about
learning
little
purpose.
people a little different. I think help change society's perspective on people that are different. Now, if you can get your head around a little person, I mean, you know, up to your chest or your belly, being
Or your
just
belly.
like you, emotionally wanting to live life in pursuit of, you know, happiness, then you can get
Liberty.
your head
Dump it
around
back
anybody who looks a little different. I think if you can understand that, hey, little people, I see them on TV, they're just like you and I used to think they were for a freak show. Then you can get your head around anybody.
I've
who
never
thinks
thought
different.
that,
And
like, in my life.
living
Like,
with
you know,
difference, that's the soft
joke
thing.
about it a
People
lot,
in
but,
world,
like,
we
I've
were
never...
all tall,
Yeah, I'm not
dark,
just
short.
like, look at that
people.
freak
What's doing,
show.
everybody? I'm Alec Lace. Thank
Yeah,
you for watching First Class Fatherhood.
Oh,
Today
shit,
I'm
he's
joined by guys
there.
from the Roloff Farms as my guest is the
Jealous.
one and only
I'm
Matt
jealous.
Roloff. Matt's getting ready to launch a new season of the very popular hit TV
Dude,
series,
they're probably
Little People,
friends.
Big World. We're going to get into that and so much more. So get
In
down
real
there,
life.
hit the
It's like-
subscribe button, tap
it's like,
that
I
like.
just
and
got a
let's jump
weird
into it right
feeling
now
out here.
with
It's
Matt
just
Roloff
weird out
from the
here.
Roloff Farms on First Class Fatherhood.
It's got, like, a Skinwalker Ranch type feel. Roloff Farms.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I am
On
honored
First
today to
Class
be lucky enough to
Fatherhood.
be at the Roloff Farm with the one and only first-class father, Matt Roloff, who joins First Class Fatherhood for a third interview. Matt,
First
Class
class
father.
father, Matt Roloff.
Wow.
First time that's
Wow.
ever been said. Ever.
Yeah.
Just the
If
last.
they have a
Even at his
YouTube,
funeral.
just comment on there and just be like, well, what about his son that was molested? That was pretty second or third class, if you ask me.
Yeah, or that DUI.
Yeah, DUI Matt. I'm looking him up right now on YouTube. First class father. First class fatherhood. Yeah, I think. Oh my
There you
god.
go.
Did he have a Backstreet Boy? Who is this guy? How is he interviewing these people? He interviewed a Navy SEAL.
There we go. Nice.
Joe Pags. I don't know who that is. Tom Wilkins. He's some NFL player, a White Sox
Matt Roloff,
pitcher.
thank you for welcoming me to
What are you looking at?
Should have done.
This guy?
A senator? This dude's interviewed a senator?
Dude, he's interviewing someone even bigger than a senator, Matt Roloff.
Dog the Bounty Hunter. He's got a dog interview.
Nice. Oh, really? On the same channel?
Yes.
Love how this comes up.
There's a week
If his,
before Matt.
if his degenerate store.
It was a week before Matt's. Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, apparently Jackson
There you
needs to have
go.
leg surgery because they're bowing out.
Here, let me have you use
Nice.
this one. These are big.
Gotta look at all these
Remember
views
that?
and look at all these positive likes.
I think he needs to have head surgery, dude.
There you go.
Oh,
There.
was
So there was only one more question, but given what you've said, I don't even know if you'll have an answer.
Can you imagine being in this
Now,
meeting?
A lot of people
Oh.
probably want to know. You were talking about your guest list. Would Matt and Karen be invited to the wedding, or is that something that you want to keep totally separate?
But he said this in the
it's
show.
not that
Oh,
they're not going to be invited, but
Yeah, I don't know that we kind of already have
Chris
the
is like,
impression
no.
that it's not something that they're interested in going to. They're welcomed if
It's
they'd
only-
like to come. We don't want anyone coming to our wedding out of obligation. You know, it's
We don't want any
the wedding's supposed
pigs.
to be about-
Yeah. It's just like they're just more of an ugly couple.
I wanted it to either be beautiful children or beautiful people or children.
Yeah, he's like, I want there to be as many children around as possible.
Thank you for joining me on First Class Fatherhood.
Well, it's absolutely my honor, and I'm so, I'm just honored that you asked
What?
me a third
Didn't hear
time.
anything you just said.
And let's start it right here. Give us an update on the kids. How old are they right now? And how many grandkids are we up to?
Well, we got
Oh,
four grandkids.
God,
I'll start
their
with that, 'cause
ages.
That's the
Ah,
first,
shit.
thing that comes to my mind. As far as how old they are, I think my twin boys, Jeremy and Zachary, are just over 30. I think they had their 30th. They're going to be 31.
One got molested.
May, right around the corner. And then you ask me how old all my kids are. I'm going to go, I'll have to think about it. But Molly's around 24.
Oh my God, I have no
25.
idea.
Yeah,
And
dude, I was
Jacob,
just
think, is
joking about
22,
that. It's serious. He
23.
doesn't.
So sorry that I
He
know
doesn't
all their
care.
birthdays, okay? But their ages, I'd have to calculate.
My job to
But,
do their
to get into
birthday
that
celebrations,
point-
all right? Try to wife.
He is. He is already sweating, dude.
He doesn't know their fucking ages.
Several of them are in their 30s.
Dude, he
Yeah,
is.
I don't know. My twins are 30 or 31. I don't know.
Yeah, dude. He is so anxious.
Yes, they're going to be 31.
Like,
I
does he
believe,
think this guy's
come
here
this
to
May,
interrogate
right around
him?
the
Like this is
corner.
part of a voluntary interview,
That's what
but
it
really
sounds- that's what
he
it sounds
secretly
like.
doesn't knows he murdered that person or he did something.
Dude, this guy's interviewed so many Navy SEAls. I don't know how he. No,
He's
he's
able to
interviewed
land Matt.
Dana White from UFC. Sean Hannity. How does he know these people? Jesse Lee Peterson was on here.
What?
Yeah, dude.
Getting some names. With
He's got only
11,000
8,000,
subscribers.
Hal Roker.
Jeez.
He just builds himself up to be a
Pompeo?
He has some.
Mike Pompeo, the Secretary of State.
How recent was that?
11 months ago when he was still
Wow.
right.
Yeah.
What the fuck, dude?
He only
My
has
PG.
11,000 subscribers.
The My Pillow guy. Eric Trump.
What?
Where's Trump himself? Like he may as well have fucking A.
He probably did during the election. Probably
Jesus
like
Right.
15.
Another one from Matt over a year ago.
Oh, really? Oh, God.
So,
They said this is the third one. This is the third one.
I mean, ask me how old all my kids are. I'm going to go, I'll have to think about it. But Molly's around 24, 25, and Jacob, I think, is 22 or 23. So sorry that I know all their birthdays, okay? But their ages, I'd have to calculate. But
He doesn't know their
that
birthdays
point in
either.
life where, they're all on their own, doing very, very well. They're all healthy. Grandkids are growing like weeds. So we got little Jackson.
He's just sweating. He's just waiting for that
3
question.
years old. He's 3 years old. He has a sister Lila who's 1, and then Jeremy and
You just
Audrey.
keep talking
they
for
have
50
Bodie
minutes and they won't ask
Ember,
it.
and Ember's 3. And Bodie's 1, right around 1 years old. So get to see them a lot, and they're always at the farm. And it's
No
life
one's
is
getting
good.
molested at the farm.
Yeah, life is good on the Roloff farm. So Bodie is the newest addition to the family.
Bodie is the latest addition to the
I
family
think.
right now. Yep, he's 1 year old. That's Jeremy and Audrey's youngest. And he's a,
He
he's a-
wrote
I call him Bodie
notes
Bear
like
because he just
on his
looks like a
hand.
little teddy bear.
So it's just like
One
mangled
thing I wanted to
hand.
do here, Matt, I know last time we touched on all your kids. I wanted to kind of take a deep dive here back into you and start from the beginning of all this.
We can't
Your
hear
father. I
you.
wanted to kind of know
Cannot hear you.
a little bit about the relationship between you and your dad.
We cannot hear you, Gab.
I don't know why it's doing that again.
Plug it, take it out, put it.
That was
plug
so funny.
it in.
That's so funny. That's like.
Breath, relax.
Dad. So if you could, what was the relationship like with your dad? What kind of father was he when you were growing up?
I had a very
Tough son of a bitch.
Great relationship with my
Oh.
dad. Still do.
Questions right off the bat.
They
Jesus.
live down in California. They live kind of a distance from us now, and life gets busy, and you don't get a chance to keep up as much as you'd like. But my dad was a big presence in my life growing up. He was always home every night and had dinner together as a family, prayed at the table together as a family every single night.
Fantasized
He
about
worked
killing him
very,
because he
very
was
hard,
tall.
but he
Oh,
also had time
don't know
for
how
his
that
kids
slipped
and
out.
did things. He was always building things, so I think I've
I had
inherited
to
some of my
compensate
sort of
because I want to be a bigger man than
construction
him.
passion from him. He was a carpenter at one point and then a truck driver. My dad left me with some of the best word pictures, parables.
me at 2 years old for obvious
not just from
reasons.
the Bible, but also biblical principles, but also just having confidence in myself, knowing I could be anything I want to be. You used to say you could be president. If
I
you
think
wanna
that's your
be.
problem, Matt. Is they
No,
just
thank you.
told you
But,
you're the best.
Obviously, he instilled in me a sense of self-worth and self-respect, and he was always like,
That I probably don't
"Go and
deserve."
get stuff, tough, get going," was one of his common phrases. So very inspirational.
I think a
father
phrase he
figure. If I had
coined.
to pick one hero
He's sitting
my
in that
life, it
chair
would be
so
my father.
awkwardly.
He just was always talking about.
You know what I mean? Kind of looks like
one
he's
of the
just
other
hanging
things.
out.
Everywhere you go, there you are. In other words, accept yourself for who you are, because you can't run away from yourself.
Wow, he's like hopped
That's
up.
the way
Yeah.
I
You know?
took that. And everywhere you go, there
You
you are.
get some
Maybe he's on
coke from that
Adderall.
AC repair
Fairly
guy.
frequently, and that was
AC repair guy just
code
interviewing
word
him.
For,
And then
like
that guy
yourself
just keeps going,
and
yep,
love
yep,
yourself,
right,
because,
yep.
that's who become who you
They were
wanna
both
love,
cutting up
because
lines
that's,
before this
who you're
interview
stuck with.
started.
Yeah, very well said.
Yeah.
And saying that wherever you are, there you are is more too. I hear like being present too. A lot of times it becomes what a lot of the dads that I talk to is about work-life balance, and it becomes one of these things of becoming present where you are. Where sometimes we're at the job and we're thinking about our family. Sometimes we're with the family.
Matt's
we're
not
thinking about the
listening.
job.
It's just
So
in his
being
head.
where you are.
He's
sometimes,
just
a little
he's just
easier
going.
said than
Don't
done.
ask about Jacob. Don't ask about Jacob.
Well, how was your experience then of watching
Yeah.
your dad become a grandfather? What type of grandfather was he to your kids?
My dad, for a period
He was
of
a
time,
great grandfather. He was
I
better than
went
Amy's
for a couple
parents,
years, and so
you know.
They were always wanting to be
Yeah,
involved in
Amy's
my-
mother
in my,
died.
in my kid's life as a grandfather, and now as a great grandfather, it's amazing to watch my dad come up here. He's a great grandfather, so he's 80,
Matt, just
82 years
chill
old,
out.
and he wants to go down the slide with them. He wants to ride a bike with them. He wants to be he's very active, very physical.
too much.
And so he's,
Doesn't get
still, you know,
touchy-feely
little
with him,
babies.
though. He doesn't do that.
When the little his great grandkids, my grandkids, come into the room, he throws his arms up and just, is very
God, more
animated
little
and very-
fuckers.
and picks them up and hugs them and squeezes them. He's very physical and in terms of just wanting to squeeze them and hug them and love on them.
But
and
in a good
go
way.
play with them. He gets in the toy room and gets on the floor and
To
plays
the pool,
truck.
gets
So
in the
he's
bathtub with him. I mean,
extremely present. When they're in the room, it's the only thing that matters. And so he's very, very not distracted by the TV or a book or he's reading anything. He shifts all his full attention to my.
Yeah, he
my
gives
mother does
all the
too.
attention
So,
to my kids.
They're quite a cute couple. Been married forever. I don't know, can't say how many years, but over 50 years. They're very much still in love.
More like
My
I don't
dad was
know.
a big tough Marine.
They keep each other secrets.
Tough physical, carpenter and truck driver, and then.
Keep saying he was
my
from
mom
another
was a high
time.
school
He's just from
sweetheart,
another
and
time.
they're still married today.
That's an inspirational story too. We could use more of that.
Very
You know
long
that,
answer to my short question.
Your marriage went through obviously a very public divorce. That became one of the focal points,
nice.
not only of the
Shit.
show but of the tabloids and all this other stuff. So how did he kind of navigate you through that
Could only
situation in your
clench
life?
my
What kind of
fists.
advice did he give you in the onset and then throughout the whole process of the divorce?
Well, that was, I'm sure, another time where my dad would
Ditch the
say,
cunt.
everywhere you
Yeah.
go, there you are. In other words, you can't run, so if there's a problem, are you running from it, or are you really trying to, fix something? And, I had to sort through that. And, my folks have always been very supportive of my decisions, whether they're right, they're wrong.
Yeah, when you told them,
agree
they were
with them
just
or
like,
not agree
good.
with them. They have been supportive
Dropping
of
that
me
ape.
throughout my entire life, no matter what I'm doing. They don't
How
always like
foolish.
it, and they let
Yeah,
me know.
kicking
well,
that
you
ape
know,
off the
have
freak
you worked
tree.
at it? Have you tried this? Have you done that? And so they're very good life coaches in that regard. And when Amy and I got to a point where we just didn't think it was working anymore,
Fucking stand each
they
other.
were supportive. At the same time, they were disappointed. They didn't like the fact. They would like to
Like
kind
her,
of,
very disappointed in
magically
her.
fix things and rely on some of the tools that they've used in their marriage over the years. But I just generally felt supported for whatever decisions I needed to make in life.
Yeah, good stuff. And I mean, obviously,
Is he
on
like
my
at
show,
an
I talk a lot
interview?
about the
Like, does he
fatherless
think this is
crisis
like
that
a
we have
job
going on in our
interview?
country. Too many kids are growing up
It's-
without a father,
that is
without
what
a
it
figure in
sounds
their life.
like, yeah.
Your kids, grandkids are blessed to have not only your first class dad, but a first class grandfather or great grandfather as well. So they're very blessed to have that in their lives. And on the
Another
father figure,
series.
did you have any other type of father figures in your life growing up, whether that be through sports or through school? Were there any other father figures that kind of helped you out along the way?
I'm fucking high. I thought that like dishwasher in the back was like little.
A big presence of
Like slim. It's just the counter cutting it off. I was like, oh, he has a little dishwasher.
Command of his his
Or his little plates.
responsibility as a father. I did have, though, with that said, some
It's just an
high
easy
school
bake oven
teachers
on the
that were
counter.
very influential, and I still remember many of the lessons. My woodshop teacher, Mr. Ron Anderson, he would call me out whenever I procrastinated. Mr. Roloff, are you
Freak,
procrastinating?
get back
on your
to work.
Because I would be helping other students with their, putting in dowels or cutting.
Imagine back in high
or
school with
data cuts or whatever. And
Yeah,
he said, what
Jesus
about your
Christ.
school, Mr. Roloff? You're helping everybody else.
Everybody
yeah, my
hated
school
him
time
because he
schedule,
was so
whatever I was
obnoxious and
building,
overly
at the time.
confident
But-
in himself.
So I don't
you know?
think I procrastinated once since high school, thanks to Ron
Fuck
Anderson.
you.
And, some of my other teachers, my math teacher, for example, Mr. Cloud Bontrager, was, I wouldn't have liked
You don't have to
math
say
at
their
all.
names.
I
No,
was
they're all
algebra,
dead. No one
yeah,
remembers
algebra
them.
Was,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when I got to
Really
geometry,
taught me how to skim a little bit off the
he was
top,
very
if you know what I
good at-
mean.
Great geometry, I kind of took to more naturally. So algebra struggled with geometry, angles and things were my thing. And so he was good about not you go through algebra first. He was good about encouraging me through that. And when you get to geometry, you might do better. And sure enough, if I did. So he nurtured me through my math, even though I wasn't a great student, never went to higher education. But even today, I apply some of the physics and things that I learned, and certainly the geometry and the physics that I
my
learned
various little towns.
in high school.
Yeah.
through
Yeah.
This teacher,
My
I'm
empire.
applying today to my
Used to
building.
build my
I
empire.
built my tree house with cantilevers and learned how to engineer things.
Trebuchets.
Never had any formal training. But
He's moving his arms
learned
around like he's a
what I
rapper.
needed. There's a saying out there: you learn everything you need to know. in
Trying to
kindergarten.
hype the
Well, I
crowd
learned
up.
Yeah,
everything
like
I
he's a
needed to
hype
know
man.
Up to high school, and then I took off in life.
Give
Well,
him
different than
just
me.
a
I
big
learned
clock
most of
around
my
his
basic math skills came at the racetrack, reading the racing
Just a
form and betting
normal
on
size
horses. And
clock.
then I ended up getting
Oh, yeah,
crew
right.
bet, booking bets for my teacher. So it all came full circle. But
That should be a
Nice
post.
applause.
more about that later. But I wanted to ask you too. How was your dad's reaction, or how did he kind of handle it with your condition? I know you had a lot of surgeries.
The
that you had to go through.
molestation.
How was he during that entire process, especially early on in your life?
Well, my dad was very practical. He would.
Well,
say,
Dad was
life
angry.
Isn't always fair. That was another.
Dude,
one
it looks like
regular
Matt has like
mantra.
some like
Life isn't fair. You got to hand it a bad deck.
like
Our bad
like
hand. And
John
what are you gonna do about it,
Pedestal like
And,
satanic
but,
art
how do
up
you
on his
charge
walls.
forward
When it goes
one
back
foot
to the
in front of
wide
Oh, that'd
shot,
be
it up,
great.
Do it and make it happen.
Wouldn't it
And
be
he was
fucking
just,
funny?
very
Just
big
paintings
on
of
getting
abused
that,
children
handcuffs.
on his
Yes.
intellectual development
Pictures of
going
kids in
so that I could
handcuffs.
survive in the world. You're not going to be able to work at McDonald's, so you might as well, because you're not going to be able to stand up and reach the counter.
Statues modeled after Jeffrey Dahmer victims.
So you don't have to pump gas. You can do something else, and he was very
Well,
good.
wow,
at making
your father
sure
really made you
that
reach
I
for the
stayed on my
skies.
studies in school.
Can't work at
and that
McDonald's
I
or
was,
pump
learning,
gas.
my craft at the time, it was computer programming. But he was very practical.
His dad was
and
Moesha from
we were in the
Precious.
hospital a lot. I was in the hospital. My
Get
dad
on the
would come visit,
welfare!
after his shift at work, and, even when they couldn't come in the hospital to visit, they'd knock on the window and talk through the window and say. So they were very active, and we were in body cast a lot. And my dad would carry us around.
He's
but
been
my-
hanging out
my
with
brother
Boomer
had
D.
body cast, he'd carry us on his shoulders, across the rivers and out we'd go camping and.
Yeah, the paranormal have
fishing.
been
Just like any
burning him.
childhood, when we took the family vacation across the country and we were in body cast, and he was we're like any other American family, doing the regular vacations, working hard and playing hard.
Yeah, it's amazing to hear you
There
say
it
too,
is.
like you've been handed a
Yep.
You know, back when
You see that?
families could afford to do that.
Yeah. The
What is that in
fucking
the
it's in the way, but hold up.
It's
bad
you
deal
talk about
or
the
a
stars,
bad hand,
or
and what you've done
it's clearly
with what
a
you've been
photo
given
of
has been amazing.
his
You've
father,
employed so many people.
him.
The success of the show has made so many people a success, and
that's
it's been a
creepy.
blessing to so many people worldwide, especially the little people
Yeah.
community. So,
God damn it.
you turned what you've been given into an amazing miracle
Whatever.
here, and I think it's inspiring to see you continue to go forward with a new season. I know the show coming up here. And I wanted to ask you too. Sticking
The
on
last
to,
picture,
other
the smallest
figures, what
picture
has,
is just
your
Jacob,
relationship been like,
but it's like he's
with
dead.
Karen's,
You know?
Yeah.
You have a relationship with her father?
I have a very
He's
close
just, no, he's just
relationship
standing there with a
Karen's,
noose around
with
his
Karen's
neck. He's
father,
not
yeah.
hung,
And,
but he's just standing
I
there
have,
like that.
They
No,
live down in
no.
Arizona.
It's
In
Matt's
fact,
father,
we were the ones
Matt,
to
the
convince
guy
them
who
to
molested
try
Jacob,
fixing
and
him.
then Paul's father.
Literally a couple blocks away from them. So every time we're in Arizona, we see each
Yeah,
other
the
just about
producer.
every day. I go to dinner, when Karen and her mom are out
Oh
doing
my God.
God.
the ladies.
I mean,
they
it
get
probably
their
wouldn't be
nails done,
difficult to
whatever,
figure
her
out which
dad and me
producer
get together
is
and
being
have breakfast and
accused,
lunch, and we,
and then get him on the
we
show.
talk about everything from the stock
Yeah, like
market
he-
to
like he'd agree.
investments to we have
Yeah.
have an array of conversations
To,
that we catch up on.
try to,
her dad, like my dad worked very hard, had a business.
try to plead his
ended up
case.
retiring and selling it, and so we had, we have a very
Get
close
his side of the
relationship, and
story.
I
We
love
already
them,
know Jacob's.
dearly, just like I do my own folks.
Very cool. And what about as far as your relationship? Now, all your kids are married, correct? They're all married.
All my kids are married.
I
About that,
think,
but,
yeah.
So, what is the
Yeah.
relationship like with the spouses of your kids' parents? What is the relationship like with them?
Well, with Jeremy and Audrey, they're her parents' name are Dan and Cindy, and I have a
Dogs
great
and
relationship with them. Karen and I take them out to dinner periodically, every couple of months. They don't live far from here, so
I
we go
pay
out
the
to
full
dinner,
bill.
talk about how the kids are doing, the babies, the grandbabies, and what have you. I don't see Tori's parents as often. I see them at
the
birthday
pig,
parties and things like that, and we get along great. Everybody's like kind of a big happy family.
They love being here on the
Amy
farm.
And Chris and we all.
Yep.
Bodie had
Tori's
a birthday
mom.
party recently, and all the
She loves the
Jeremy
sty.
and Audrey families were there, and we were there.
She's well fed here.
And then when Lila
It's
had
fine,
her
the hog, if you will.
birthday, we all got together with we were all there, all the parents and the wife's parents. So we're just pretty much a big extended happy family most of the time. We have our
It's the
moments.
second time.
As
Second
we
time
all
you said
do,
that.
Matt. So, and then turning it over here to you as a dad. I know you got hit twins right off the gate here. We have 4 kids. For my wife and I, going from 2 to 3 was probably
Normal
the most difficult
sizes.
transition for us.
Yeah.
As far as the nomination of kids, what would
For
you say
context.
was the
And they
most
were full-size
challenging transition
people,
for you
Matt.
as far as number of kids that you went? through?
Yeah.
I would say
Yeah, my
going
kids are
from the
full
twins,
size.
we were just like to the third child. That
And
was
we're full
a wake-up
size.
call a little bit. That you got the twins over
He
here.
just
doing
can't
the
get his
toddlers,
head
and
around.
now
He's
you
like,
got
hold
a
on
new
a second.
baby, and
Both
so,
of your
with the
parents were
twins,
normal size?
We're very systematic. When you pull
How
out
did-
the diapers, you
how did
always
they
pull
have
out 2
you?
diapers,
That's the rest of
line
the
'em up,
interview.
line 'em up, and wipe them,
Just
get the
pull it
wipes,
out and
and,
drop it.
Get 2 bottles, and
He's like, so it was one of
don't
their
get me wrong, Amy
parents.
would have something completely
Sure.
different to say about how hard which one was. But for me, I was like, wait a minute, I'm getting these. I have these
He's like, it just
toddlers now, I
came
have another
about in
baby,
you?
so that would be Marley. So I would say going from 2 to 3 was sort of a wake-up call. And once you get to 4,
100%
you're
certain
okay, we
that's
got
her
this
father.
down,
Yeah, and I'm nothing but respect for people that have twins because I just know our first 2 are about 15 months apart, and that was close, and that a little bit of a taste, but I couldn't imagine doing double duty at the same time. So always have mad respect for people that are parents of twins. What about when you were growing up? Did you always want to have kids? When did it become
God,
known
this
to you? You
guy's a
said, I would love to have
faggot.
kids.
Imagine
Or kids.
having
You
a
always wanted to do it.
podcast about fatherhood, dude.
This guy was clearly a detective.
Bullshitting, but just bullshitting.
Someday I didn't know how
Clearly
many,
a detective, an NYPD detective that was
just
asked to
2 or
leave.
3, and so
Yeah, and now he just does
Jacob, the fourth
podcasts.
one, it
Yeah.
was a little bit of a surprise that took us off guard a little bit.
About
but that
nothing.
was great, and we're
That's why
super,
Matt wants to do as many
happy
interviews.
with,
Like, good, I
all
got
of our
another cop
kids,
on my
and
side.
They all bring something
Yeah.
very, very special and joyful to our lives.
And what has been, I mean, obviously this year, everyone's been through the ringer. The pandemic has hit everybody pretty hard.
All right. 17 minutes. Do you want to?
All right.
I'm tapping out.
Yeah. Yeah, we can end it on this one. Put a note. 17 minutes. Continue with the rest of that later.
No.
Legacy of Matt Roloff. First class
Would
father.
Did he pass?
And this dude gets like views on this shit. Like tens
Click.
of thousands
What's
of
that
views
clicking
on
noise I'm
some of
hearing?
these.
It's not like I just like 11,000.
Go to his videos, dude, and look at some of these fuckers.
Look at the view count as well. Yeah.
Not even 2,000 viewers for Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Wow.
It's disgusting. It's under 1,000.
He's just got all these ex-football pros.
He must have something on him.
Matthew McConaughey.
He had Matthew McConaughey?
For a second,
Episode
I look at that
437.
thumbnail and I don't know why, but I thought it was Doug Benson. That fucking like faggot who's, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
The low weed comic. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah. Yeah, there's something else going on.
Yeah. Oh god, Dinesh D'Souza.
Yeah, I was about to say.
He's got so many. Just look, these are just all the interviews within the past 6 months. Does he do one a day?
Rudy Giuliani.
Rudy?
Peak of everything that was going on, too.
And 1,200 views. Sam Harris? Is that Sam Harris? Oh wait, Flip or Flop host. Never mind.
It says right below who.
Yeah, this guy.
Lou Dobbs. You got Lou Dobbs.
Wow, he just pumps them out. Just think though, his content must be terrible if after all this time.
Why would these fuckers agree to go on here?
Well, I guess some of them
He has something on him, dude.
are all under 20 minutes, I guess.
Joe McHale. Joe McHale didn't even get 1,000 views. It's like a 20-minute, like.
It's so weird that
Pay
nobody's
them,
watching
maybe?
this.
Like, does he
He must
does he
have.
secretly have a lot of money and he's like, all right, I want to become an interviewer, so I'm going to pay these guys
Maybe they pay him.
No.
Why not?
Is that?
It's laundering. It's just so they.
Because what
Yeah.
you want to get 10 times the views as Danny Tamborelli?
No, it's not about the views. It's about saying you're on a podcast about fatherhood. It looks good for you.
Yeah, maybe.
It just doesn't pan out with a number, apparently.
Yeah, but some of these people are just like so big that it's like.
How?
Like, why even bother? Why would you bother with like such a small channel? But I cannot have any of these broken 5K yet.
Like the Eric Trump one is blowing my mind.
I think one
That
had
Grant Cardone guy is like one of those guys who's like, I'm gonna make you $1 million. Here's how to do it.
So there's 1,000. So he has 11,000 subscribers, and like that's clearly not 11,000 because
He's interviewed Deion Sanders.
All right.